What's going on, traders? Thank you guys again for joining us for another helpful video. For today's video, it's going to be more of a recap. It was an extremely busy day. Caught a flight back from California to Arizona. I went for a meeting, and then I went to go visit some family and stuff like that. So it's a really cool thing. If you guys didn't watch yesterday's video, I filmed kind of like a tutorial or kind of like a little simple walkthrough teaching my little sister, she was 17, on kind of how to day trade. So I feel like a lot of you guys enjoyed it because it was kind of funny because she was so young. And it went through, I think, a lot of quality information. So I hope you guys can focus on that specific aspect of that video. But most importantly, today's going to be a recap video. And what I mean by that is, for those that don't trade with us actively, I go live Monday through Friday, usually during pre-market hours and about 15 minutes during the market open. We pretty much scan for stocks, we analyze stocks, identify potential, plan out our trades, and then focus on the top quality stocks. It's just something that I do to kind of hear what you guys want to look at, have me do my own technical analysis. But the most important thing, kind of just staying connected. And that's, I think, based on the feedback that I've received, people just like hearing a voice. I feel like a lot of us just trade behind a computer, and it gets kind of lonely sometimes, especially when you dedicate a lot of time and you have no real interaction with other people. So it's really cool to be able to read your guys' messages and stuff like that. Okay, well, can you analyze this stock, and then exposes me to new opportunity. But most importantly, for those that are joining us for the first time, we have 3 rules with TechBud Solutions, and that's our community, right? We don't trade based on anyone else's opinion. We only invest in what we can manage and what we see value in. And then the last thing is always have a plan when it comes to investing. So if you're thinking about, even aside just from trading stocks, but if you're thinking about investing in a stock, always know where you're buying, always know where you're selling, and always know where you're cutting losses. Most importantly, just continue doing what it is that you guys love, with the passion and with the drive, and let that express within the work that you continue to do day in and day out. Today was an amazing day. I'll get to that at the very end. If you guys don't follow me yet on Instagram, my link is down below for those that want to stay up to date on my day-to-day kind of things. I brought you guys along kind of with some today's tasks, so you guys will be most likely prepared for tomorrow's video. It's probably one of the coolest things that I did, but I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. For those that just want to focus on kind of just the stocks and how it played out today and stuff like that, I had a very bad day when it came to trading, and I shouted that out. My first trade was a red day, and that was with CUR. Did not play out the way that I expected. Ended up bouncing, ended up doing pretty well. Me and my sister were right next to one another because she was supposed to execute her first trade today. It ended up, when it came out to her trading on my Robinhood account, since I don't use that account anymore, I was trading on my Fidelity account. We came to the understanding that it's probably a better idea for her to open up her own Robinhood account. She was underage, so my dad opened one for her, and then we were going to fund that $500, and she's going to be trading with us from day in and day out, and I'll be keeping you guys up to date. She's pretty much she's not going to be dedicating a lot of time to this, but all I want her to understand is kind of how to identify potential and to stick to her plan, being consistent and locking in profit, because being in the green is being in the green. So let's kind of get to it. I'm going to be sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that we were talking about today. I was, I think, pretty active within our group chat since I kind of called it quits very early in the morning. I just didn't feel in the mood. It was a very kind of stressful morning with everything that I had to manage doing today. So again, if you're not in the mood, don't force the trade. And I kept saying that. I was like, I'm probably not going to day trade. I'm probably not going to day trade. And then when I just saw CUR bounce at $2.50, I bought in at $2.50, and it was all downhill from there. I bought in too early and ended up hitting lows of $2.20 or something like that. And then I'll talk to you guys about how horrible CUR did today. So let me just start sharing my screen, and then we can go from there. And these are all stocks that we called out. So I'm only going to be talking about stocks that we called out within our group chat. So if you're within the TechBud Solutions group chat, again, you first have to join the Facebook group. So once you guys get accepted to the TechBud Solutions Facebook group, we have a little bit over 28,000 members within this platform, over 34,000 members with all the different platforms we have available. All you have to search up is in this little search bar right here, DISCORD. That's Discord, and then one of my posts will populate. Where is it at? Oh, okay. Well, I guess it didn't populate. So group chat, let's see. Right here. So new chat, you guys are more than welcome to join that. We do have different moderators that are going to be filtering out certain people if they're not doing what it is that we want to be doing within that group chat. But again, all we do within TechBud Solutions is we share best practices, share mistakes, and then once you guys get accepted, we have the main chat, and then we have a bunch of different chats that different group leaders manage. So swing trading, momentum trading, group watch list, OTC stock, that's Brad, and then Momentum is Connor. We have Mobile Investments, which is led by Kyle. Kyle's a complete beast when it comes to the buying and reselling of different things. And then cryptocurrencies, for those that want to get into that. The rules that we have within our group chats, if you guys can respect those, we'd greatly appreciate it. And then we have the stock bot. So really cool, just keeping us all up to date. So this is pretty much what we have set up for the meanwhile before we get everything ready for the TechBud Solutions website to kind of just prepare us. But let me talk about the stocks that we called out today. And I did call them out during my live stream. So if you guys joined me in my live stream, these are all stocks that you guys would have been exposed to. And again, I went down and did a whole analysis on support, resistance, kind of where I thought it would bounce. There's only one stock that I didn't call out that I'm going to be talking about, and then one stock that I did talk about, but I didn't call it out and ended up doing very good today. And for those that traded, I'm sure you guys know what that is. But the first one, this is one that I did not call out until much later, before it actually bounced. So I did call it out before it bounced at the support, and you guys can go through the group chat to see that. But all I was focusing on today, so let me do a 10-day analysis. Nope, a little bit too close. I did like a 15-day analysis on my mobile app. So all I identified with any OS is I identified a support here at $6.50. Now you guys might be thinking, well, what the heck, Ricky? It went below $6.50. Again, guys, we don't care how low it goes. All we care about is when it starts breaking the resistance. So when it popped back up above 650, we started seeing signs of upward momentum, and it pushed right through the 680 resistance. I called out the resistance at $7, as that was, where it really peaked out at. But overall, we called out the support at 650. It did break below it, but then it bounced right back through. So therefore, those that were staying up to date and that saw value in NEOs, I saw a good amount of traders did focus on the specific stock. From top to bottom, if you guys got where I called it out and then where it peaked out at today, from 650 to 680, that's 4.22% profit. Again, huge potential, right? And if you guys simply would have simply just approached this in a way that the way that I like to approach it is I like to wait for the break below the support, and then once it breaks above the resistance, that means that it's starting to show signs of upward momentum. Therefore, again, I'm not investing when it's showing a downward trend. I wait for it to set its support, which it set at 640, and then it starts breaking the resistance. So that was 650, which makes sense because, again, the old support was 650, therefore it becomes a new resistance, and then when it breaks it, it becomes a new support. So right as it broke above 650, it continued to show signs of upward momentum. And I guess I could have done a better analysis. Again, I was at the airport, but I called out the $7 resistance. I could have done a better analysis and have seen that 680 was a previous support, which was obvious that it would have been a new resistance. So again, it was a support here, and then when it went below it, it was a new resistance. So I could have done a better job calling that one out. I'll try to do a better job doing that. But again, it comes down to just simply exposing you guys to the opportunity, you guys doing your own analysis and seeing if you guys see value in this specific stock, right? We have a bunch of different traders performing their own technical analysis, calling out different stocks. Doesn't mean that you have to jump into all of them. Filter out the stocks that you don't see value in, and then plan out your trades for the ones that you do. And it's as simple as that. We identified the support, we identified the resistance. My resistance was a little high, and we waited for the bounce, the break above resistance, and it saw an upward trend ever since. So this one was a perfect trade, but again, I was busy, didn't want to force the trade, didn't have time to trade, so I did not trade it. So just wanted to talk about that one. The one that we did call out within our live stream was PLUG. So PLUG, the reason that I called it out, I'm going to try to slow down because I think I'm talking a little quick, and people always tell me this. I just get really excited, as you guys can tell. So I called out the support at 230, and I called this one out yesterday when I was doing the analysis with my little sister. I called out the resistance at 240 and then the support at 230. So again, a little margin that it's been bouncing and hitting the resistance 1, 2, 3 days in a row. Again, when we called it out, it was only 2 days in a row. It played out exactly like planned. I called out that it was starting to bounce at 231 in the morning during our live stream. If you guys saw it, it peaked out at 239. Again, didn't hit the resistance like it's done before. And again, that's why I always say follow the trailing stop loss and then sell if you see, pullback. If you see that there's a wall of sellers at 239 and, then buyers or sellers start selling at 238, then you're most likely going to experience a pullback. And, then it comes down to just locking in profits and selling at that position. So it's still built, what the heck? It drew a trend line. It's still built from top to bottom, a 3% profit margin, and that's one that we called out within our live stream. So I do want to give a shout out to those that jumped into that one. The next one is AEZS. Although we called this one out in our live stream, it broke below support at 220, and right as it broke below that support, I was too late to buy in at the initial bounce, but if you guys saw our live stream, it ended up bouncing all the way down to 205. It bounced, hit a resistance at 215, and then it bounced super quick, and that's what we were waiting for. We were waiting for the pullback, and it bounced right at 205. And then once I saw it break above 208, that's when I really start climbing up, and then hit a resistance at 215. So again, from the bounce at 205 to the resistance at 215, that was about 4.69%. But overall, what I really wanted to call out was, again, when it did break above the 209 or 208, it really held very well above the support, and then it kind of struggled to break above 215. It did end up breaking at the end of the, kind of closer to the end. But again, a lot of people don't trade throughout the entire day, just like me. I traded for about the first 2 hours of the day. Therefore, this wouldn't have been the best trade because I would have had to watch it the entire day. But again, we identified the support, we identified the resistance based on where it peaked out at. And then within this little area, again, about a 3.35% profit margin from top to bottom that it continuously bounced. And for those that ended up seeing potential in it, I did very well with that one. Now with DGAZ, we did call this one out. And the reason that we called this one out was let's see if I can pull this one up. It had that peak at let me see. It had that peak at 26.30. It peaked out a little bit higher, but again, didn't hold very well above 27.30. And then when it dropped below $27, that's when all my alerts started going off, and that's when I started shouting it out. I shouted out when it started trying to bounce at $26.40, and it looks like I called it out like right before the market closed, and it bounced pretty well. Why did I call out the support at that specific price point? Well, if you guys see during pre-market hours, that was an actual support. So again, I'm simply just looking at the previous, low points, and then where it's most likely going to bounce. Again, just looking at previous trends, and then that's why I called out that support there. Nothing fancy. Again, just looking at previous trends, identifying the support, trying to kind of predict where it was going to bounce, and then we did a pretty good job with that. It held above it. So when it comes down to us trading this one tomorrow, if we see value in it, just know that it has a margin from $26.40 if it bounces to highs. Realistically, to highs, I like to say to 220, just because that's really where it touched quite a bit of times, and that's about 2.9%. Again, not the most profit, but it's still profit is profit. And then the last one that I called out was CUR, and this one didn't do what we expected during closing hours. But again, I called these out as day trades. And for those that day traded this, did very well with our call outs. This is the one that I called out with my little sister. When it had that drop below 240, my alert went off because 240 was the support. It was holding very well. So I'm going to focus in this area right here. Nope, this area right here. So it dropped below 240, hit lows of 235. And again, I didn't care how low it went, but when it broke above 240, that's what was important to me, because again, this was a support. So 240 was a support. And again, this is the margin that I want to trade at. So from 240 to, 250. So 4.4% profit margin. And if you guys saw me and my sister's analysis yesterday, that was the margin that we identified. It broke below the support. So again, it disvalued kind of like the previous support that we identified, but then it bounced at 235 and it broke right back through. And from this bounce, it showed nothing but signs of upward momentum. And I do want to give a shout out to one of the members within our group chat that did, I'm sorry I forgot her name, but she did a very good job just assisting me with calling everything out when it came down to CUR, keeping the group up to date. So I do want to thank you personally for doing everything it is that you guys do, to taking time out of your day and guiding the group in the right direction. So right when it broke 240, that's when I told my sister, look, we should probably buy this one. It has a margin from 240 to 250. This could be a quick 3% profit or 4% profit. But it came down to her wanting to trade on her own app, and that's why we didn't make that decision to jump on in. So we didn't want to force it, but because of our call out, a good amount of traders were able to jump in at the low support. So a plan, just so you guys can understand, once it broke above 240, because we know that 240 is now the new support, it has a margin of from 240 to 250 realistically. If we look back here, that's about 4.11, right, if I'm not mistaken, or 4.0, just 4% profit. Let's just call it that. If you buy in close to 240, let's even say that you buy in at like 242, not at the lowest point. If you buy in at 242 and you stop loss out at 239, it has a potential for loss of about 1%. So for every 4% profit, it's a 1% loss. Again, not a bad ratio. Therefore, when it comes down to managing your risk, is this risk worth it for you? Is that, risk/reward worth it for you? It comes down to you to identify that, set up a plan where you would cut loss, where you would cut your losses. I would have cut my losses if it would have gone, again below 240, because then it's again not holding above the support. But it did nothing but show signs of upward momentum. until after hours. I called it out that it was holding pretty well above 250, and then my plane took off. And then when I landed, it was one of the first things that I saw. And during aftermarket hours, ended up dropping down to 181. So it broke the support that it had at $2 from its huge drop before, and then it tried to hold above $2 throughout the entire day. Had a slight resistance at about like 210. So a big fallout. So what does that mean? Well, if everything goes according to plan and still holds above $2, then we can make it our way back up for the remainder of the day, back to this 240 resistance. Because again, 240 was an old support, which will become a new resistance. So we built this new margin of profit. So this might be one that we might want to keep our eyes on. This might be one that we might want to keep our eyes on. But most importantly, again, only trade what you see value in, and all these stocks that I'm calling out are based on what I personally see value in, so they don't mean that you have to trade them in anyway. And you know, I'm doing a technical analysis, and I, find the potential as a day trade. So for those that, are thinking, well, what if you guys would have held overnight? Like I say, if you're a day trade, then you should be day trading that specific stock and cut losses or lock in profits at the end of the day. If it didn't play out the way that you wanted, that doesn't mean that you should convert that day trade into a swing trade because you hope to later sell for a profit or don't want to use your day trade. Again, if you're day trading or trying to day trade a specific stock and it doesn't play out the way that you wanted to, based on my experience, I've seen a more of a like failure rate when I try to hold those stocks because they end up doing much worse. Again, this is a huge loss for those that even bought in at 240. That's a 25% loss. That can be very discouraging for members. But let's move on to the next one, and that's why we say we don't hold these low cap stocks overnight, and that's just something that I like to focus on. So something that I could have done a better job as of the past couple of days was I just thought JNUG was just showing signs of downward momentum. It had a huge dip from when it peaked out at, when it went above $18, held pretty well above 1662. And if you guys joined for today's live stream, I didn't think the margin of profit that it had was worth it because of what the type of price stock it was. Right as it broke above the 1720 resistance, guys, it skyrocketed. Just to give you guys an example, it hit like almost 10% growth from that specific break at like 17 to where it peaked out. Yeah, 10% growth. So I do want to give a shout out to the members that shouted that one out. And it comes down to I'm only here to do a certain amount, right? I'm only exposing people to certain stocks that I have access to, and that's why this group is so effective because there's thousands of members that are doing their own analysis that see potential in different type of stocks, and it's not just my specific style that you guys are gonna find the most attractive. It comes down to seeing people within our community and the ones that you see the most value in, and then following them as well, right? It doesn't mean that you have to trade everything it is that they trade. That's not at all what we want to happen. But if they expose people to good quality stocks, then it comes down to you as an investor to just use that exposure to find the potential and see if those are stocks that you see value in. That's all TechBud Solutions is. We share best practices, we share mistakes in an effort to promote overall group growth. I know Connor does a killer job, as well as Brad, calling out a series of different low cap stocks or momentum stocks. So I want to make sure that you guys know, you guys can feel free to subscribe to Connor, which is our momentum trader, and then feel free to subscribe to Brad, which is our OTC stock trader. He did end up keeping me up to date that there was a stock that they caught today. I'm gonna have to jump on a call with him, but they caught a stock that saw 200% growth. Again, if that's a specific niche that you might want to get exposed to or see value in when it comes to the OTC stocks, then you guys can feel free to follow that specific group chat because that's what they do best in, if that makes sense. So overall, if you guys see the title, you guys might be saying, well, Ricky, why does it say $1,050.46 profit? Is that something that you made today? No, I lost money today. I lost a little bit less than like $70. So not a huge loss. I tried to manage my risk. Didn't do a very good job doing that, as you guys could tell. That's more of a bigger loss than I like to take because I'm pretty conservative with my stop loss. But I thought I would give CUR more of a cushion, did not play out the way that I wanted it to. But it doesn't mean that because I didn't do well, doesn't mean that any other members didn't do well. So let's go ahead and shout out some of our top traders today. And man, where'd he go? Guys, I'm so sorry. Here we go. I knew his name. Well, within our group chat, he posted it, and it's the Chief Investor. So I do want to give a huge shout out to him. He took a position on Chegg. Again, not a penny stock, just because not everyone in our group, like myself, we don't trade penny stocks. We trade stocks in different price ranges. The chief investor has been consistently locking in profits and did an amazing job locking in a little bit over $1,000 profit, almost 8% on his position. So I just wanted to give a huge congrats to him. And if you guys want to join our group, then you guys can see his screenshot. I do want to give a shout out to a couple other traders. G. Segarasso locked in a little bit over 4% profit, so that was $63. Russell Seneth locked in a little bit over $1,120 on his position with JNUG, so amazing job with that. I did see that. And then we have, what is that? MT Burke locked in a little bit over, what is that, $64, so close to 3.3%. So again, consistency is key and profit is profit. And then we do have one of our traders that DM'd me these series of screenshots, locked in over 7% profit today, and that was $497. He was swing trading a series of like not low cap stocks, but again, good quality stocks like Tesla, ROL, and Facebook. Locked in $126 on Facebook, $68 on ROL, and then $497 on his position on Tesla. So again, amazing job. Let me go ahead and get his name on that one, just because I know he did direct message me, and the least I can do is actually just properly shout him out. So his name is James. So amazing job, James. He's actually one that I met at Canes after I had a meeting. So it's amazing having you as a part of the team. And just because, again, one of the biggest things that you guys have to understand, because we trade low cap stocks, I think I had this conversation with him. Because we trade low cap stocks doesn't mean that you guys have to trade low cap stocks. Identify the best way to kind of identify your niche in the market is to start paper trading. It's simulation trading. There's no monetary risk, and that's the best way to get started. So you can get your feet wet and see if this is a market that you see potential in, or that you can prove to yourself that you can be a profitable day trader. And then the approach that he took was, okay, well, I see more value in investing in good quality companies, and he might be an investor that is based on fundamentals, and it looks like it's working out for him. You know, an extra, what is that, like almost $700 profit today. Just doing what it is that he's doing. He's a swing trader, and then he locked in a couple. He locked it all in today. So again, just do what works for you, and that's really just it. But that's pretty much it when it comes to the recap. So we're going to be going live again tomorrow for Market Open. So I hope you guys can tune in for that. I know it's pretty late for those that are tuning in for Eastern Standard Time. This video will repost so you guys can all watch. Now that's enough for trading. I'm super tired, as you guys can tell. I'm just exhausted. I woke up at 5:45, and then we went live, so it's 5:45 a.m. It's 10:30, and I have a call to take at 11, and then I think 2 more calls, and then I get to head to bed around like 12 or 1 o'clock. But again, it's something that I really enjoy to do. I do want to give a shout out to my friends Ryan and Drew, and they're going to be a part of tomorrow's video. It was an amazing experience. Again, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram yet, the link is down below, so you guys can stay up to date on my day-to-day task. And I just want to give a huge shout out to you guys, and thank you for everything it is that we did today. But that's really just it, guys. So thank you guys again for tuning in. I'm gonna, just for those that are tuning in right now, I'm going to start answering a couple of your questions. Oh, there's someone saying something inappropriate. Have to block them. But thank you guys again for tuning in. Oh, come on, guys. Can't be saying that. All right. I'm so sorry for, oh, what the heck? So many people just going all over the place within the live chat. So works best for you guys. If you guys found this kind of recap, I kind of stopped doing the recaps since I didn't want to, like, I wasn't too sure you guys enjoyed the helpful videos a little bit more. But other than that, if you guys like this recap and kind of want to just know how the day went and kind of what to prepare for tomorrow while we go during pre-market hours, then feel free to let me know, and I'd be more than happy to make more of these recap videos for you guys. Again, I'm making videos solely based on your guys' suggestions and opinions, so feel free to let me know in the comments, and I will be dedicating 5 minutes to answering some of your questions for those that are tuning in. So let's go ahead and shoot. For those that are done tuning in, I want to thank you guys for everything it is that you guys do. If you guys aren't, again, a part of TechBud Solutions, the link is down below. You guys can feel free to subscribe. And I think we've been growing at like 500 members within the TechBud Solutions Facebook group a day, as well as like 400 to 600 members within, or subscribers within our YouTube. So I can't thank you guys enough for everything it is that you guys do. we'll see you guys in our live stream tomorrow. Continue working hard, continue doing what is that you guys love, and I will be now dedicating some time to your guys' questions. So let's go ahead and do this. Daniel Hernandez saying, I appreciate everything that you do, Ricky. I appreciate you tuning in. Again, I love doing this. It just comes down to dedicating about 30 minutes of my day, and it's cool talking to you guys. So I really do appreciate that. What do you think about swinging JDST? Well, I think Adam Berkey is asking that because if JNUG did so well today, then I could only imagine how bad JDST ended up doing. And again, guys, it comes down to like if you plan to day trade JDST, but it didn't perform the way that you wanted it, then you should have just cut losses and then tried to move into one that you saw more potential in. But whatever it is that you guys see most potential in, I just I have a max loss for the day, and I have either a max loss or I cut my losses right below the support, and that's really just it. That's the approach that I like to take. So Adam, I hope that answers your question. Brandon Morales saying, love you, Ricky. Love you, man. Thank you again for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Edward, oh man, I'm sorry, dude. I'm gonna chop your last name. Edward, I hope I'm gonna read your message. So what's up, Ricky? This is my third live stream joining. Awesome content. I appreciate you saying that. I really do. Thank you again for your support. And if you guys have any suggestions on how I can make my videos better, then please let me know, because I am making these videos to make them the most effective for everyone else. So how can I get live feed on Thinkorswim? That's by Nam Nguyen. Are you talking about like real-time quotes? You have to subscribe to that if you don't have to pay for it. So feel free to reach out to a TD Ameritrade rep, and they can assist you with that. So Orgene TV is saying group invite already expired. I think you're talking about the Discord group chat invite. It did expire, so I'm going to erase the old group chat links, and then I'll post another one tonight. So just stay tuned for that. Best laughs. Come on, if you can stop pumping that specific stock. If you continue to put it, I'm going to have to block you. I don't like talking about DCTH. I personally don't see value in it, and that's really just it. I do talk about it from time to time just because you guys ask me to, but I don't like to trade that specific stock. Said Muhammad is saying hello from Malaysia, brother. What's going on, brother? Best laughs, and again, I don't mean to be rude. You just have to understand that we have a lot of people that watch this specific live stream, and I don't want them to think that I'm going and trying to pump a specific stock, and that stock has too bad of a connotation with it. Ricky already has a video on how to sign up for Thinkorswim. I do have a video on exactly how to get real-time quotes. You guys literally on the YouTube search bar for any questions or any video that you guys think that it hasn't been made, put my name, so Ricky Gutierrez, and then search the type of question that you're trying to answer, like Thinkorswim, candlesticks, support and resistance, how to identify potential. I have a video for almost everything. Within my helpful video playlist within my YouTube channel, you can find them all there. Giordano Brenton, thank you. You the best. Appreciate that, brother. Risks 2 to 3% of your total account. Comes down, some people are okay with doing that. Some people want to risk less. Some people want to risk more. That's good that you're sharing what it is that you risk, but everyone risks something else and or something different. I have a suggestion to make your videos better. Put some light music in the background. I used to do that, and people were like, Ricky, cut that music out. All we want to do is hear you, and now I think we're going back to the whole thing. Bro, you look like you need some canes. I actually had canes. It was one of the first things that I did here. I actually was going to tell you, I don't know if you guys want me to post the video, but I was going to buy 2 bikes today, and both of the deals went through. If you guys know, we buy and sell bikes as a hobby with a series of other businesses that we have. And guys, 2 bikes, and they were both not what we expected, and that was the most discouraging thing. I was trying to almost force the transaction just because of the bad day that I had. I just really wanted to push it through. But yeah. Hi, Ricky is... I know you guys love that squeaky door. Leading Business says, what's up, Ricky? Or hi, Ricky. What's going on, bud? What's your name? Because it says Leading Business, so I don't know what your name is. So Adam Berkey, Berkey is asking, how much of your sister's $500 account do you plan to invest per trade? She's going to be on a margin account, so she's going to be investing the full $500 per position. This is a good question, and we're going to end it here because I don't want this to go too long. What? I edit for Ryan and Tanner. Let me know if you have one. Oh, Edward said I edit for Ryan and Tanner. Who's Ryan? Oh, Ryan Hildreth. That's Tanner's business partner. Let me know if you ever want me to boost your content as well. Feel free to message me. But I don't really just go live. I don't do anything fancy with my videos. Ricky bleeds canes. Should have known. I do eat canes a lot. What is the AP? Where's that? Okay, that's something that Sergio is doing. That's not any of my leading business. Why did your name get rejected or message? It doesn't let me actually see your message. Okay, so leading business is saying that I'm going to ASU. I'm personally going to be a senior. So yeah. All right, this is going to be the last one that I'm going to answer, and this is by Ezekiel Carino. It's saying, I'm going to ask you a non-stock question, so I think we can end this kind of like on a soft note. What is your next car after the Z06? So what I'm really focusing on is right now that I'm trying to invest in more rental properties and actually trying to buy a true, not just rental properties, but a true like investment property aside from a residential property that I convert to an investment property. I'm going to need roughly about $80,000. So I have a good amount saved, but I'm going to have to sell my Z06 and use the money that I have already in that specific car and then invest that into the house. So that's kind of my plan. I know it's nothing fancy, but it comes down to if I see potential in a specific, house or investment or opportunity, I'm going to make sure I love the Z06 and I buy them at a pretty low price to later sell for a profit or to sell kind of for what I bought it for. So I don't plan on actually taking a loss on the car, and I would much rather use that money that I have invested in that car and then use it to take advantage of an opportunity. It's not, I don't want to say I don't care about the car, but I'd much rather use that money to make it grow. The reason that I bought the car and when I said I wasn't going to buy another like high-end car was because I didn't see the market doing very well in a way that I wanted to buy, and now I see there's like certain properties that pop up that kind of catch my attention. I just got pre-qualified for 2 more properties, 1 residential and 1 investment, 1 requiring 20% down, 1 requiring about 10 or 5, I don't know, but I'm probably going to put close to 20%. So again, that's just my approach. So what car am I going to get? I don't know what it is. I'm planning to potentially invest in a car. I can't disclose what that is just yet, but I'll surprise you guys. It's definitely more of a extreme type of supercar than the Z06 because the Z06 isn't necessarily a supercar. So that's really just it. So alrighty. But I'm going to end it here. So thank you guys again for all those that are tuning in. You guys are still dumping questions within the live stream. Guys, I have a bunch of stuff that I have to get done before I have to jump on my call. So I really do appreciate you guys tuning in. Most importantly, if you guys can give us some support. Again, if you guys want to join our Facebook group, it is a free group that you guys can join. The link is down in the description. Again, the Facebook group. If you guys can like and subscribe, that would be great. But if you guys don't want to, then you definitely don't. But please, if you guys can go subscribe to Connor and to Brad, they are the group leaders within the OTC stock group and then a momentum trading group chat. So feel free to subscribe to them. They have amazing content within their specific niches that they excel in, and rather subscribe to them than to me. Again, I'm just here to showcase, and they're amazing. So thank you guys again for everything it is that you guys do. We will see you tomorrow in tomorrow's live stream, 30 minutes before the market opens, wherever you are located at. That's 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time here. So catch us live, and turn on post notifications. So it's that little bell right next to the subscribe button for those that are always asking, why don't I ever get alerted? I think you need to turn those on. I don't know. But thank you for everything it is that you guys do. I appreciate your guys' support and how much time you guys dedicate to my videos. You guys are true family and a true team, and I wish I one time or one day have the opportunity to meet each and every one of you guys, because this whole community would not be possible or so effective if it weren't for you guys. So continue working hard, continue doing what it is that you guys love. And like always, guys, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, guys.